morning. If you'll notice today, I have a lot more energy than I've been having in the past couple of days. And this is for various reasons. However, for one very big obvious reason, we were able to eat last night, and we were very happy about that. So I've mentioned in a video before, um, probably a couple days ago, a couple of days ago, we mentioned about our journey of like food. It was mainly about like different ways that we've had to acquire food on our journey, and different ways that, you know, there has been no food in our journey. So, and like our feelings behind those certain things. So if you're interested in that video, that's it's there. So I also mentioned that when we're on a fast, usually we go through like this period of anguish, like extreme anguish, because it's usually not by choice that we are fasting, and it is usually like a lesson that needs to be learned in certain ways, whether it's to accept food from others or to not accept food from others, to go get it yourself, to put your work out there. So because I actually didn't explain that last part, because that wasn't part of like me obtaining my own food, but like that has been a thing too. uh, we've always been trying to figure out how to put our work out there the best way for us, because we're not the type of person that will be like, hey, you want to do this and blah blah blah. We're the type of person that if you find us, ask questions. And a lot of people don't ask questions, but you would be surprised as who does, um, because that is our role as the divine feminine. We are meant to shine so that people find us. However, there's more balance in that, but that's the main point of our existence, of what we do, which is why we're not so like in your face about buying our card readings, why we're not so in your face about this whole fasting thing, why we're not so in your face about a lot of stuff. However, about like in your face about what it is that we are, that's different. And the fact that people finally get to hear what we say, because, you know, like if you click on this video, you watch it, you get to hear what we have to say. And that's a blessing in itself, because we've had to be not that wallflower. Literally, if people actually paid attention to us and watched what we were doing, other than the people that naturally do that because they're enthralled by us in a different way. Like I said, we do have stalkers. We have people that always see us and we don't know that. We are meant to live our life in the public eye, and so we are very used to it in general. So we know people see us, but then people choose not to see us when there's certain things um, that look like they don't know, like they don't, if they don't know us, if they've never really seen us before, because there's a lot of new people mixed in with that too. There's also a lot of closed-minded people that naturally have closed out our existence as a whole, based on the vibration of the fact that I have my backpack with me. Like, to them, if you like, that's what happens if you are a judgmental person and you look at someone and you don't take that that overall vibration off of it, off of the viewpoint. It's like a glamour. Then you see people as being just like everybody else, and you see people being like every other homeless person. I'm just going to put it like that because it's the easiest way to explain what I'm talking about. People don't take the time to look at me and see that I'm not like other people in general, let alone another homeless person. So it has been a journey because of that. And then the people that do pay attention to me, they really only pay attention to me because they want to sleep with me. And I'm like, I don't have time to talk to you. And it's just like, it's not for the right reasons. But there have been multiple a time where that's not true. However, we have not been paid for any of our services because of that reason. Because when God sends somebody, and we're light working specifically, like, we put out our cards and we made a spread. We'll even make a spread, like, it's beautiful. Like, we'll have a thing happening, and literally we are very aesthetically pleasing, but people don't look past that overall vibration of, that's a homeless person, don't look at them. So if you don't look at someone, you never actually get to see what they're about. You would see that homeless people don't have hair like this. It's taken care of. Homeless people don't dress like this, and like, they're not sagging out and stuff like that. And I have no other way to put the term homeless people, because that's the way we're explaining it, right? Like, that's a whole part of my journey, the ins and outs of that. And I have definitely graduated from that to unconventional living, very unconventional living, because homeless really does mean you don't have a home in heart, and I am not. I'm at home with the Lord, and that is why I was able to handle this fast a lot better, and also why it matters to me where I am. However, I know that God has a place for me, and that makes me happy. But you'll see other homeless people that don't know their place. And there's a lot of people that they love the Lord, they believe in God and whatnot, and they do certain things that you will not catch me doing, and we are very aware of those things, but we are not a part of that picture, because everybody always puts on their best face to speak to me, even if it's someone that is really trying to put on their best face and be egoic towards me. So nobody's going to act up in front of me. However, we read your energy, we know. And then also, I don't encourage people to lie in general. So people are very honest about things, but if it ain't for me, I'm not going to look. And then also, vibrationally, I can't see it. So what I was talking about, people sitting down and you're not, and this can happen with people that aren't even homeless people, like everybody. If your vibration and someone else's may either not match completely, or in general you're used to seeing the same types of people all the time, you will always see those people, and they will always have that overall I'm like everybody else glamour on them. But once you focus and take that glamour away with an open mind, you'll immediately start to see, like, oh, this person's beautiful. Oh, this person is this. Oh, this person has a lot to offer. I wonder if they know that. And so that's why a lot of people don't always succeed in the industry, because they are trying to be like someone else, or they don't necessarily know who they are, and it's coming out in their vibration. And so then the first thing you see when you look at that person is a glamour of a lower vibration of themselves. And so that's why certain things don't appeal to us. However, if someone is higher than your vibration, you will feel triggered, but you'll also feel like you can't see them correctly. So you have to pay attention, and then all of a sudden they'll strike you. So there's variances in it And it does depend on how you meet these people and how it happens. But in general, everybody is meant to be affected by me in some type of way, whether it is good or better. We'll just say it like that. Because I don't look at it as a bad thing, because they're really, you have to go through a lot of things in order to grow. So I love being a part of that, even if sometimes my ego doesn't like it at all, like, oh, they just look at me like another homeless girl, but like straight up, nobody carries themselves like me. And everybody will tell you that as well. And that's something that's funny to me. It's like, where is your vibration at? Like, where are your eyeballs at? That's where I'm really at. I'm like, where are your eyeballs at? Your vibrational eyeballs. Like, you see that I take care of my stuff. That's another thing. I'm clean. I'm very clean. And despite the fact that, I can't always go and take a shower the way that I have been doing for the past couple of months, I am very clean. And people also notice that, especially when they choose to notice. But when they choose not to, they choose to ignore me, or they get scared and they choose, like, they genuinely, they get scared. I do have to remember this is LA, because I don't see the world like that. I'm not afraid of anybody, and that's something that's really a blessing to be able to say. And there are things that it's just easy for me to stay out of danger, and I'm very blessed to be able to say that. And I see the world differently. Like, somebody will walk past me briskly, right, to get ahead of me on the sidewalk, and then start looking behind them like I'm about to rob them or something. Boy, you walked in front of me. I'm just walking, and now you're kind of in my way. And if that was the case, then move over. I actually told somebody that, and he happened to be another homeless person. And we were coming back from getting food, and like, I'm pretty sure he sees me often. And if not, he was really suspicious. Like, he was looking behind him and stuff. I was just like, you just happen to be in front of me, and I just happen to be behind you. If you're really afraid, you can just move over. And I said it real simply, and he moved over. Like, there was nothing else to say other than that. And I walked past him and I said, have a blessed day. I don't want no problems. I ain't got time to have no problems. I got my own things to deal with. And so that irritates me a lot, just because of that. Like I said, my ego does not like that, because I'm not someone that would choose to be in this situation if it wasn't for the reasons that we chose to be in this situation. I never thought that I would have my life be like this, and I wouldn't say that I would like it to stay like this, but it has made me really realize how people can't even witness. Like, it's funny, because people will hecka notice, or they won't notice at all, and it is all based on vibration. Or people will get scared, intimidated in general. Like, we invoke strong feelings. And in my mind, I'm really like thinking, I'm like, you got a celebrity in your view. I don't care if you think I'm well known or not, but yet you want to pass that person up. Like, if I was someone to find me, I would want to know who I am. I would participate in the things that I do. I had bigger signs. I know I mentioned that I don't have signs that, like, say specifically, like, will work for food or anything like that. But, like, we do art. That's up there, so never mind, I'm not going to show you. But on my Instagram, I have everything that I'm working on, and every time, and we've begun to be more sporadic about how we do things, because we've had to start over with our art multiple times up until this point, and then we've had to start over with our lyrics, our music, multiple times up until this point. We've had to start over with everything multiple times up until this point. And so it is a blessing to be able to have what I have right now. But we used to have, like, it was, what was it? It was a drawing pad. Yeah, drawing pad, that's the word. Drawing pad, and it was pretty big. It was pretty big, because I liked doing that, and that's what we would buy in Fresno. We got like $20. Our dad gave that to us, and we asked for $5 and he gave us 20, and we were able to go and get art supplies the way that we wanted to at the Dollar Tree. And so we got drawing pads, we got we got crayons. I don't remember if we got colored pencils, because we have to carry all of this stuff in a fashion. And then we got a storage bag for like clothes, the cheap ones with that you put the hanger through. But we got 2 of them, and we used that as our art bag, and we would tie it together. And we had like a Ziploc, like a big storage bag, the vacuum seal ones that we bought from there as well. Excuse me. And we put that in there for rain protection. We had paints. If you are in a bind and you need paint, it doesn't matter if it's cheap or not. It's going to be a lot of fun. So go to the Dollar Tree, go to their art section, get some paint. They have a lot of cool things there. It is hard for me to find things in LA as opposed to in Fresno, because they split things up in the stores. Like things that, like I went to Walmart and could not find what I was looking for, but found, what I was looking for in a different way. But like everything is switched around here. I don't know how anybody gets shopping done, to be honest with you. That's not the point here. But yeah, we had it set, and then we had like bought a really pretty ribbon, pretty shiny ribbon. Thank you for saying ribbon. Now I know what I was going to do. Praise the Lord. And we were, oh, this tree is trying to hurt me. A really pretty shiny ribbon that was just big, just big and cute. And we used that as our tarot spread, and we would do a lot of stuff with that. Like we were very creative with what we do. So when we're just sitting there and we're having a situation, like we have this stuff strategically put out, and I don't hide my bags and stuff because I'm not trying to be fake. I am as honest as I can possibly be with people, because I'm about to be honest with you about your life. When I pull up these tarot cards, I can't be honest about myself. That don't make no sense, And so people automatically assume that I'm just probably making a nuisance of myself because I happen to be there. But where I'm at is usually a public place as to where I can be until they choose to have a problem with me for no reason. And then at the same time, like it's just very inconsiderate. People are very inconsiderate as a whole. Sometimes people will walk around it, like behind me. If someone has like a setup going on and they're in a spot where you have so much room to walk wherever you want to, don't walk through their stuff. And like if it was really if it was really bad, I would have said something. But like they would just test me in that way, in a little bit of a way, just so that like I'm like, if I say something right now, if you move a little bit too much in the wrong direction, I'm gonna say something, because I'm like, that energy of like you're too close. Like some people do actually naturally just don't have like a personal space bubble. It's annoying. But point of this story, there's always a point to everything, really. So the point of the story is that we handle ourselves a lot differently in general. And even if we end up having to do things that other people would have to do, because I have so many bathroom stories that will get shared in the future. And if they don't get shared out of my mouth, they're getting shared through an anime. Because I believe people need to understand that what you got to do is what you got to do. And when you help someone out in that way, don't try to be that person that's like, I'm going to give you a little bit, but I'm not really going to help you out, because you're going to be in the same situation because of that. And you're going to need to know what to do. And nobody wants to look stupid in front of other people. And so being as someone that's had to go through dumbass things, I would definitely say that oh my goodness, yes, definitely. We've went through them by ourselves and not and out of the view of others, because God supported it, because we all need our privacy. That is why I'm such a private person, but at the same time, I'm an open book, because I live my life in the public eye. People see me all the time, but at the same time, it's all if they notice at the same time. So some people will be like, I see you every day. Some people don't. And some people get jealous, and some people really just have a whole ego trip, and it's just a whole thing. And literally people really do try to power play me, and I'm just like, what are you trying to prove here? So that has to do with the fact that I said I didn't have signs saying need food or anything like that, because I have not been in the energy of begging for things. I don't like that. I have so much to offer as a person that we already knew what we were setting out here to do. We just didn't know that we should, rely more on God and the energy of that situation rather than I need money. I need to get some money. I'm tired of not having money. Those types of things. Like specifically doing this for the clout. We'll just put it that way. And so that, that bared no fruit. That just did not give me anything out of it. And if we did, it was because God was, he was humoring me, and I appreciate him. And, I'm just not the type of person that you'll see on the street corner doing something like that either, because you need to be in a good, comfortable space to do tarot readings for other people. I'm not like other tarot readers where they can do that. That's different for them. It's way different. Their appeal is different. Their message is different. It's different. But for me specifically, we need you to calm down. We need you to simmer down. We need you to have a minute. You want to ask questions, I got answers for you. Praise the Lord. We're here together in this space. You are safe. It's different. But it doesn't mean you're less safe with those types of people. Mind your energy. Just know where you're supposed to be at. But specifically, my niche is not extrovert. We'll just put it that way. My introverted powers really are who I am on the outside, which is why I'm so mysterious. Is because I wear everything I am on the outside. I don't know how people get scared of someone that carries Pikachu around. And literally before that, I had Pikachu. So it's just like, who are you even afraid of? You know what I mean? And I just think it's hilarious. And so, yeah, or I would say like you can donate weed or something like that. Like feel free to give me weed. So I would draw whatever I'm drawing. Like my specialty really is like words and flowy letters. That is why it's called tarot euphoria, because it's more of a euphoric type of feeling. Like that's what I feel when I'm doing it. That's what I want you to see when we get finished with it. And people wouldn't even take the time to look at the sign. When the sign is green, like it's not like you just won't see me not put like color all over, the picture. It's not just a sign. This is artwork. Like I sell these things. I sold a picture for $200 once. The Lord sold a picture for $200 once. And it wasn't even finished, but he said it inspired him. He really wanted it. Beautiful. I was so happy about that. That was my first time, really my only time selling something. And that was great. And it was a full-size picture and whatnot. And so that being said, I don't do that anymore because I'm just like, why am I putting my art out there for people to just walk past it like it ain't there? Like it was a big sign. And literally, I'm a pretty girl. And I'm like singing too, but the mask really is a thing too. Like I don't wear my mask because you can't hear me. You cannot hear me. I'm not a loud person. I am authoritative. I can do what I need to do, but I'm just not a loud person. And if I need to be stern, that's different. But that doesn't mean I have to be loud. It just carries weight. It's a lot different. And intimate settings are what really brings out what it is that we try to share with the world. And so that is why you don't really hear me sing that much unless I'm playing a game or something. Because like it's fun for me. But like I'm just learning how to want to give that to people, because that's something that I'm learning how to give to people, because they want you to be like them. But I believe at this point in the world that it is a good idea to try to understand what it's like to be like us. People that don't look you in the eye when they talk all the time. Like I can look you in the eye. It depends. But I feel like that's intimacy that I only share with people that I'm close with. And I will probably be looking to the side or blah, 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 because I'm very imaginative. But at the same time, I'm like, it's interesting because people don't like it when you don't look in their eye. But they say I have good eye contact. So I don't know. Maybe because there's so much confidence behind everything. And like people don't know that I dress like what I dress like either, because I've had to put on different types of myself going throughout this journey and whatnot, learning how to be fashionable in a crisis. a budget diva, straight up. So that brings us to what I was saying about having a lot more energy. I ate yesterday, and I was mentioning how we've had to get food through dumpster diving, but we didn't want to call it dumpster diving because we don't actually get in said dumpster. We don't know how, nor do we want to. But we also said, like, when good times start to do certain things, like you get what's on top, like when it, you got to know what you're doing, right, to get what you want, and to not open up a vibration of eating food that is not for you in general. I don't want to be a dumpster diver, but I have so much fun experiencing the things that I have fun experiencing. And so some people may look at it differently, but genuinely it's a lot of fun to do things differently and on your own in a way that people really wouldn't normally see you doing certain things, especially because I'm not a stranger to it. It's like, oh, this pretty ass girl and she's doing this, or this person has great energy if they notice and she's doing this, you know? And so, like, it's really interesting to see how that works because we do things the way we do things. And so, yeah, I went to, let's see. Okay, so first off, I don't know if I mentioned, but I had, not mentioned in this video, but like maybe in a couple of videos I mentioned I had $1. I mentioned I had $1, right? That somebody blessed us with earlier last week. Yeah, that makes sense. Earlier last week. And this is LA. And in general, prices are not, you know what I mean? So that dollar has stayed in my bag up until yesterday because I'm not going to go and see if I can get a bag of chips, which those are not even $1 anymore, because I knew that the bag of chips that are $1 that are not, because the Dollar Tree is not near here. I would have to commute, like I would have to do all that, and it's too hot to do it during the day, and physically I was not gonna make it there, so wasn't gonna do that. Tempted, but I wasn't gonna do that. And then I googled a Little Caesars to see if we walked there, if we could like end up getting something from there, but like that didn't work out either. That's too far. And on top of that, we staked out one Little Caesars in San Pedro, and it had a like a big ass gated facility around the trash can area. So we have not dumpster dived for any type of Little Caesars since we've gotten to LA. So I'm really glad that we did it before we left Fresno, because that honestly was the best day of my life. One of them, for sure. I was happy about that. See, get excited about life and you'll enjoy things that you wouldn't normally enjoy. So like people that are in like the same type of situation, but not by choice in general, I believe it's important to not look down on yourself when you're doing things. Yes, you have to do what you have to do, but that doesn't mean that I'll take random half-eaten food from people. Like if it's not given in a good energy, I don't receive it. I had some nachos it was a full thing of nachos, shrimp nachos, not yesterday. Someone had given it to me while I was praying with you guys or talking with you guys, and they had just passed by and they were like, "Are you hungry?" And I ate that on Instagram live, but they had like it was a flour tortilla taco with a chicken, like buffalo sauce chicken and stuff in it, but it was like half eaten. But like the energy of it was like, it looks good, and literally this is a whole plate of food. Like it was delicious. I ate that, but at the same time, I'm not going to take a water bottle that someone has opened and they want to just, oh, here, that's a cop out. And I mentioned that don't give people cup noodles anymore unless they're from like Japan or Korea. Like the regular cup noodles are an abomination, and I still feel that way. However, yesterday with that dollar, we had Googled Rite Aid, because we had to walk in that direction to go to Sweet Jill's, because we were going straight there to we were gonna go and get some pastries, and normally there was pastries. We didn't get no pastries yesterday. that's not the story. Um, and so we looked on the website, and it says they had like the chow mein noodles, like the chow mein ramen, and the flat packs for 99 cents. And I found a dime and 2 pennies also in the bottom of my bag. And so we were like covered, you know, and we also have a Rite Aid card. So if there's some type of special or something, we can still get that, you know, praise the Lord. And then we saw the cup noodle was 79 cents, and we were like, all right, that's funny. And so then we went in there and we found the chow mein, and it was $1.29. The prices did not match what was happening on there, but I think that the prices also were from a different Rite Aid store that was on 2nd Street, but I have not seen that one, so I don't know which one that is, but that's not the point here. I think it might be further towards Naples or something. I don't know. I don't freaking know. But we were like, okay, it's cup noodle. That's the only thing we can afford in the store besides grandma's cookies, which is two little cookies when we came here for food, because it's like we're starving, but it's not like starving feeling. It's more like I need energy and nutrients in my body. Like there's no body energy upholding this energy that I have in general. Like spiritually, I felt amazing because we chose to do so, because we felt really good about where we had been. Because each time we would feel angsty, we would get upset, excuse me, and we would start crying. We haven't cried not once throughout this whole fast, and I'm very pleased to be able to say that, because it's not a bad thing to cry. It was more of the reason why. And it really would have been like a distrust in God, because like, why are you crying like he's hurting you or something like that? And you know, people have their own ideas about what I've just said, but for me, we know better, and he knows what we go through. And so I also felt like I had to redeem myself, because once I learned how to be more vulnerable in my life, I forgot how to be more disciplinary towards myself as well. Like I still always have that underlying balance of being disciplined, but then it's like when I really got to push myself, I learned to baby myself during this journey, because genuinely I felt like a victim, and on top of that, you know, like why? And so I was manifesting that energy by feeling like a victim, so I chose not to. And so we've been, you know, working on how to get our discipline back, and so the Lord really helped us with that. And we've been better with that in general, but this was the one time where I was just like, okay, we've done everything that we can do, and past this point, it really does feel like a moot point to continue doing this fasting right now, because that it's not fulfilling me in any way other than the fact that I get closer to the Lord in general, but like not on a day by day type of like basis, because we're already talking. And so my major thing was I'm producing outward work now, like more outward work, rather than just being the divine feminine and sharing love and being the divine feminine. Like I can't really put that in any other way. We're actively doing stuff, and we don't have energy to want to do that. Like you're not going to want to watch a card reading with me feeling like I'm going to fall asleep and be like, this is blah, blah. Like it's okay if that's naturally how I am, but like genuinely, if I don't feel happy to be here because I want to go to sleep, and there's no reason for me to feel like I shouldn't feel that way, then, you know, that's kind of an issue. And in general, like we spent all this time like making good memories in general, and it opened up a new wall for us. We're gonna start putting our sign out again for food. And oh yeah, so we bought cup noodle. It happened, but there was another flavor. It was like spicy chili chicken, and stuff. And that actually tasted better, because the spicy foods, when you make ramen with cold water, it doesn't always bring out the spice in it. So I was like, I hope this is actually spicy. And it was not spicy, but it was very flavorful. So it was good. We did juice up the whole situation, literally. So moving on to the next part of the story, we bought that, got a bag, went to Sweet Jill's. We went there to get pastries, and they're usually like in individual containers, like opening, containers and whatnot, in bags. And so the trash was full, and that was an issue. You don't want it when it's too empty, because it's kind of hard to get to it. But then it's also difficult to get to it if there's too much in there, because you don't know what is what, really. Because it's not just Sweet Jill's, it is primarily Sweet Jill's, but it's like, okay, there's a lot of other things happening in that bag right there. So you gotta like learn how to look at stuff before you touch it, and kind of just like, okay, because they use, clear trash bags, so it's easier to see. And so what we found was a bag of like an actual just like a grocery bag, like I think it was a Panda Express bag. Oh yeah, literally it was a Panda Express bag, because that's how we knew it was Panda Express. And it had 2 styrofoam 3 entree plates in there, and they didn't eat their chow mein, and they didn't eat their vegetables from, I think it was sweet fried chicken. Like I think it might have been sweet fried chicken. They ate the chicken, didn't eat the vegetables, but there was a lot of it, so I don't know really what they got. But it was beautiful, and it smelled glorious, and it was in its own personal bag. It wasn't just sitting there. It was like, oh, we're on break, and then we didn't finish this, and we're putting this in this bag now, along with a Coca-Cola cup of Fanta. I'm gonna assume it's a Fanta, and it was full, so like they didn't even drink it, and a fortune cookie. And so we were happy about that. So, and we had been praying to the Lord. We literally said yesterday that we wanted Panda Express. Of course, that's not what I meant, but happy to oblige, happy to receive, whatever. And so then we had our own bag, so that saved us from taking that bag. Also, the day before yesterday, we found chopsticks right here, like good chopsticks, like, and someone just left them there. And so we sterilized those, cleaned those, washed those. We washed them a couple of times because they're chopsticks. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. What, like I was gonna say like they're chopsticks, but like literally it's a utensil. Like we washed them, and we kept those, and we were like, we cannot wait to eat with those, because I'm a Japanese fanatic. I wouldn't even say it like that, but like I would definitely say it like that. I love Asian cuisine of really anything, but Japan is really my shit, really. But I could say that about a couple other things as well. That's neither here nor there. And so I was like, we have chopsticks for this, which was beautiful because we didn't have to take no forks from that situation either. Which those forks looked clean, but that's not the point. If I felt like I needed to, because I didn't have those chopsticks, I would have been okay with that. I would have had to wash them, but I would have been okay with it. And so we got that, and then there was no pastries, because there was too much going on in there, and we like dropped something, so we did have to pick something up. Don't make a mess if you're doing what you're doing. Don't make a mess. Don't be a nuisance. We are definitely planning on obtaining more things today in general, so that we can really put our life forward. Okay, that is also what we're explaining. So we got back. Oh, we used that soda as the water for the ramen, so that it would add more flavor, and it was delicious. And we mixed everything up, and it was delicious. And I had a lot of fun with it. And praise the Lord, we got to eat, and we are carved up for the day. And so before that, we were doing art on another stretch of land. And in Fresno, it was different because everywhere that we wanted to be, one either had too many bugs, the grass was wet, or it was too far away from anybody walking down the street. So it was really easy for them to ignore us if they wanted to. But like, a girl's literally sitting in front of the school and has her spread out, and you want to ignore her. That's rude, It's really rude. I even gave 2 kids free readings because they were actually interested. They're like, "What's tarot?" And I'm just like, "Do you want to know?" So I've given out a lot of free readings, as opposed to actually charging for my services. And then it was $5. It is no longer. Um, so now we have multiple different spots where we are naturally really too close to people. I would definitely say that. I still keep my vibrational bubble in general, but and I feel like that is very necessary as a person. It gives people the initiative to, one, step in if they're feeling bold enough, but at the same time, if to not treat me like someone that they've treated the same way before. Like, you're not gonna act up with me. It doesn't matter who you think you are. I've literally told my mom, I told my mom the other day, I don't care who you are, I'm not gonna tolerate that. And that has nothing to do with people physically doing anything wrong. She just That just goes to show like how serious I am about being treated the way that I want to be treated, and not how someone else would treat someone else, because I don't that ain't for me. I don't care. I don't treat nobody else like that. Don't treat me like that. I don't care what type of social status you think you are as opposed to me, because my energy is elite. I'm kind of an elitist, if I really want to put it quite literally, and it's because I'm able to see these things differently. However, with a loving heart and humility, it's okay to be cocky. Just know where you get it from. Know where you've been. I'm literally telling you about digging in the trash can, but not digging. Don't dig, because chances are that's not for you. So it's okay to be cocky. It's okay to respect yourself. It's okay to be like, okay, I know that people are going to look at me funny, but I need to do this for myself, and I don't give a fuck. So people actually saw me this time looking in the trash can. They didn't really look too hard, but it was hard to miss who it is. Like, in the future, they'll be like, oh, I remember that girl. I seen her. I remember that. And that is, that's something that has changed a lot. I knew that if I were to do it this time, that people would see me. But at the same time, I had to remember that people are going to see me anyway. My path is to shed light on these types of situations in general. And, I don't really care. So it made me feel really good that we were able to complete that. We came home with ramen. I was so happy about that. I wanted ramen. I've been watching a lot of cooking everything, and literally I love ramen. Genuinely, I just love ramen. I love any type of ramen, multiple types of ramen. Love it, a ramen. So ramen is like a hot spot for me. But yes, food in general. I plan on buying my fish. That's the thing too. Like, you gotta know what not to do. Do not ever try to dumpster dive at a fish restaurant or El Pollo Loco, because genuinely I've never done that except for El Pollo Loco. I wanted to see like what was going on, because I had never been there before, but that was the past. And I did not touch anything because there was a bug crawling on the dumpster. That's a really big difference about Sweet Joe's dumpster. It is a dumpster. Let's be real about that. But like, it smells more like pastries in the situation. There's no bugs crawling around. I'm not picking up random stuff. Like, it is a vibrationally higher experience as opposed to other situations. And also, it's never really dark in the alleyway either. So it's like, we also went to Subway to see if they had thrown away any bread. I don't know how that works, because I've never picked up anything really other than like Sweet Joe's. Like, I don't do this really. But I didn't know how that was going to go. We found bags. Their trash cans smelled like bananas. That was interesting. And it did not have any of what it was I was looking for. However, I don't know if they might have thrown it out, so I might check again. I don't know. It depends on what happens today, because I'm really not planning on doing this as a thing. So that brings us to our next point. Our next point is that fasting season really brought into perspective and more importance of what it is that I want to do, because now that I understand that I work for God and I don't have to care about whether people notice what we do or not, it's so much easier for me to do what I need to do, but I want to present it well as well, and I like to be comfortable. I'm really good at challenging myself and in comfortable ways. Like, I'm very adaptable because I like to be comfortable. So if it's a challenge, I'm gonna attack it head on so that it doesn't bother me, so that I can stay comfortable. But I grow in that way. That's why I'm always growing, because I find comfortableness in evolving and adapting. And I like challenges, but I like challenges that make me happy. I like to be happy about the things that happen in my life. Like, it doesn't matter if it's easy or not. I just want to be happy about it, you know? So we've been waiting for the energy change of, like, how do I put my stuff out there? What do I want to do about it? Because at this point, my original music has definitely taken a back seat since we've started doing social media, because we always work on this stuff, and then, like, we don't have anything to show people when we actually have means to share it. Like, when we got our phone to start doing this, the flow, um, the flow of our music, it blocked. We blocked it. Somehow it got blocked, and that just means that there's more to it. But it was already really trippy. Like, I really liked it, and it's taken so many evolutions, and so, like, I was just not expecting it to abandon me like that. But it didn't abandon me. We're also excuse me. We're also a lot better at it now. Even though it's not necessarily even the way that it was supposed to be, but I'm trying to also not feel that way about it as well, so that we can allow it to be what it's gonna be, because I want to feel more confident about what it is that we do, because I know that it's beautiful. Like, I know that it's good. And so we are singing more out loud now. We'll have our phone unplugged so that people can hear the music too, because we're able to do that. We have resources that we can use. I plan on making some money today. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. That's funny, because as soon as I said that, I got a notification. I put in my calendar daily at 9:45 a.m. Praise the Lord, to send a prayer up to the Lord as thanks, when, like, no matter what I'm doing. And so, yeah, definitely, like, we plan on making some money today. Making a lot of it, not even just some of it, but definitely a lot of it. Like, whatever it is that we're about to attain today, we're putting more effort into what is we're doing, and we had to spend time doing this for a bit to get comfortable with that, because social media is something that is new to me as a whole, not just talking into it. Like, I don't have a Facebook, and basically, it's easier to tell you what I do have. I have YouTube and I have Instagram, and other than that, I am a rogue. And you may find, like, certain pictures in the past. Maybe it was me, maybe it wasn't. We'll see. Yeah. And so, yeah, we're gonna set some things up, and we are praising the Lord heavily, because we feel motivated today. We feel well fed today, and we feel really great about that as a whole. And we look great today, and we genuinely feel great. So I'm very happy to have shared this with you. Also, it is funny, because my fortune cookie, because fortunes are real. They really are. They really are, which is why sometimes I have to stay away from them when I'm going through certain things in my life. But specifically, I opened it. I've never had a fortune this short before. It was so funny. It just said, invest in others. And I was like, that's interesting. Because that's what we were thinking about. Because it's not, like, about, like, investing genuine. Like, okay, we do that in different ways. Like, we support our spiritual community in general. Even though I don't know if they look at it that way, because people would normally, like, I don't know, send decks, send money, whatnot. But, like, if I feel called to, I will write a very heartfelt message to them on their comment section, like, as the viewer. And that, to me, holds a lot of weight, because when I comment, I feel like I need to say something. And if I don't, then I don't. And so it's been nice to be able to comment on things and be a part of that situation as a whole. And we, that supports them as well. So we give feminine energy basically as a way of supporting our spiritual community. But investing in others, again, we were like, we need to bring more people into our energy by putting our work out there so that they, can see it, they can be a part of it. So that was a really funny fortune for us because we had already known. That's another thing about fortune cookies. We know it's true because we know it's already happening. Like, it's something we already knew. That's the thing about tarot readings as well. Like, we already know what's going on before it happens, but then at the same time we like to hear it because we just do. I think it's really cool. Like, I am such a nerd, such a weeb as well. Like, I just love magic. I love everything about it. I love God. I love the whole situation, and genuinely I love my life, and I love that I'm able to feel like this because I feel inspired to do something different. I feel like my shell has definitely been cracked, and I feel like also I'm able to portray myself differently than I have in the past because I'm more open in general. However, as much as I keep opening, the more that I realize even more that I don't have to be like anybody else. They'll notice me when they notice me. And that's why, like I said, I kind of have to put out on social media, like, I kind of have to put out like tarot euphoria, like $25 this and whatever like that. I kind of have to tell you that, or you won't know that I'm doing readings. And so there are things that I have to compromise on when I do that in general. And I don't put anything in my abouts unless it's a lot of fun stuff. My Instagram is probably the most like, oh, that's a lot of stuff. But like on my YouTube, I have my Instagram, I have my PayPal, and literally at the top it just says God's Artiste. Like, because I didn't want to advertise to begin with, because I knew that whoever was going to find me, God was going to bring them to me. And it has been true. It has been very, very true. But in order to make it easier accessible for people to even actually find me, you kind of need to put those things there. And if people want to donate to me for any type of reason, my PayPal is there. Like, these are things that, like, it has to be there in order for it to be there, and making use of the fact that we are using social media now, and we are on our platform. We're in our boots. We are in our heels. We are doing this. So we have definitely opened that up a lot more in general. We're very on top of updating things because it's fun right now. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll have better things to put on there. I'll put on there. You don't even know what I'm talking about. But like, I just like to share like what I'm doing with my art too on Instagram. I like to see, like, it doesn't matter if I draw like one line and I just colored it in and did that one part on that part, but I did something else on something else. It doesn't matter. Like, I do things that I feel guided to when I feel guided to, and I feel good about it. So that marks the end of my fast. This is marking the end of the video. I'm really happy to have felt like we redeemed ourselves with the Lord, because I don't believe that he necessarily felt like we should, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's not completely the truth, because we definitely felt ourselves that we could have been better. We could have pushed harder. We could have been better to God himself. And so we really just didn't, we wanted to redeem ourselves as well. So God gave us a chance to do it, and we did it. Flying colors. We passed a physical lesson with a family member, which I mentioned earlier, but I'm not going to get into it because that's something that is not a story for right now. And, you know, everybody's growing in their own way. And we didn't want to feel like a loser, you know, that feeling of we could have pushed ourselves, but we didn't. But this time we did. We We did, and we did it with flying colors, and we were beautiful about it. We asked God for help so much, but we did it in the way that we should. We expressed ourselves a lot, but we expressed ourselves the way that we were supposed to express ourselves. And we were just very happy about the situation in general because we didn't feel desperate. We had fun. We had fun, and it really was to push us to do another stage of our work. So now we can, set up and be like, this is tarot, this is us, we're right here. Donate if you like my voice, because I'll be singing and probably playing a game or something, and I'll have my cards there. $25. Donate in general. Like, it is just a lot more fun for me to be able to do what we need to do when it's time for us to do what we need to do. But at the same time, I felt like in the past that it could have been better if it was, but now it feels like we're definitely going to get a lot more out of this than we ever have, because we're putting a lot more. I wouldn't even say putting a lot more, to be honest. We're actually putting a lot less effort into what we've been doing lately as opposed to what we did in the past, because in the past we spent so many hours focusing on our art. And so like we would set up our tarot spread and our whole situation, like a storefront type of, it literally was a storefront. Like, we did this, right? And we would be at the top, and we're part of the display. And so we would sit there and we're literally doing some type of yoga as we're drawing and stuff. Like, we're very interesting to watch if you just do it. But if you just walk past like you don't see us. But Fresno was a part of a lot more basic people in general. And then in the beginning of me being here and trying to do different things, it was too windy in general to leave my cards anywhere. So it was really hard to set up in general or to put a sign anywhere. Like, it was just very difficult, and not even in the right spaces, because it was a lot of city area. But like, now that I'm kind of confined to this place right now, I'm also thinking of other spots that I can get to once we start taking the bus again, because transportation has been something that I refuse to give up for good. So that means I got to pay for it now, and I'm okay with that, because we were paying for it when we could. When when we could, we got a tap card, and we bought the 7-day tap card 3 good times. So we were really happy about that. So it's just going to be different now, and I'm happy about that, because I really want more from my life and I want to put more into it. So I'm going to do so, and I expect full, reciprocation from the Lord. So yes, we were patient, and the Lord gave us epiphanies. He gave us food. He gave us ambition and motivation to move forward in a different way. I was going to say different direction, but genuinely just in a different way, because we're always going in the same direction until, obviously sometimes you have to move backwards to move forward. But these are things that I'm really happy that we're moving forward in. And praise the Lord, put God first, and He will always do for you. So yeah, that is my testimony for today. We definitely have a lot more to say, but that is what it is. So I hope that helps somebody out. Trust God. It doesn't matter what you think is happening. And we were rewarded for our trust, and I'm so happy about that. So blessed. And yes, I'm still trying to manifest bacon. Oh, I love bacon.